World War II was a conflict of unimaginable scale, but nowhere was it more brutal than on the Eastern Front. Germany and the Soviet Union, two colossal powers, clashed in a struggle that would decide the fate of Europe. By 1943, after 2 years of savage fighting, the front lines bulged around the city of Kursk in western Russia. This salient was a tempting target for the Germans, who hoped to encircle and destroy Soviet forces. For Hitler, Kursk was a chance to regain the initiative after the disaster at Stalingrad. For Stalin, it was an opportunity to prove Soviet strength and begin the push toward Berlin. The battle, fought from July 5th to August 23rd, would become the largest tank engagement in history. Both sides knew that victory here could change the course of the war. Kursk was more than a battle. It was a high-stakes showdown between two ideologies, two armies, and two futures. The stage was set for a clash that would echo through history. The German plan, Operation Citadel, aimed to crush the Kursk salient with a massive pincer attack. Nearly 900,000 German troops, thousands of aircraft, and the latest tanks, Tigers, Panthers, and Ferdinands, were assembled for the assault. Hitler delayed the attack, waiting for more new tanks, giving the Soviets time to prepare. Meanwhile, Soviet intelligence uncovered the German plan, allowing them to fortify their defenses. Some German generals warned against the offensive, fearing a costly failure, but Hitler pressed on. On July 5, 1943, the German offensive began with a thunderous artillery barrage. The Steel Titans rolled forward, confident in their technology and tactics. But the delay had tipped the balance. The Germans were advancing into a trap. The Soviets transformed the Kursk salient into a fortress, building the most extensive defensive network ever seen. Under Marshals Zhukov and Vasilevsky, they dug thousands of miles of trenches and laid hundreds of thousands of mines. Civilians and soldiers worked day and night, creating a killing ground for German tanks. Over 1.3 million Soviet troops and more than 3,300 tanks, including the legendary T-34, stood ready. When the Germans attacked, they were funneled into minefields and zones pre-sighted by Soviet artillery. The German advance slowed to a crawl, suffering heavy losses. Soviet infantry fought fiercely from their trenches, using anti-tank weapons to deadly effect. Instead of a swift breakthrough, the Germans faced a grinding battle of attrition. The Soviet defenses held firm, absorbing the might of the Nazi war machine. The trap was sprung. The climax came at Prokhorovka on July 12th, where hundreds of tanks clashed in a chaotic melee. Despite their powerful Tiger tanks, the Germans failed to break through. With mounting losses and the Allied invasion of Sicily demanding attention, Hitler called off Operation Citadel. The exhausted German army had thrown its best units into the fight and been stopped cold. The Soviets seized the initiative, launching counterattacks that drove the Germans back. Kursk was a decisive Soviet victory, the last major German offensive in the East. The Red Army now held the initiative, and the myth of German invincibility was shattered. The cost was staggering, but the Soviets could replace their losses. Germany could not. From Kursk onward, the Germans were in retreat, fighting a losing battle to the gates of Berlin. The Battle of Kursk was a turning point, proving the resilience of the Soviet people and the power of preparation. Its lessons still echo today, reminding us how history is shaped by courage, strategy, and sacrifice.